Chloe, we need a jingle.
I've got something in mind right now.
Okay.
It goes like... No.
Yeah, I think you should work on that for now.
You're sure?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right.
Let's create a better one for the next episode.
Okay, next episode.
Hello. Hi everyone. Welcome back to Artists in Pyjamas.
This is your host Chloé Rochefort.
And Livia Papiarnik.
Today, we are painting with you on camera. How cool is that? We are basically just doing a bit of mindful painting because lately we've been feeling a bit like we lost touch with that, don't we?
Yeah. I think, we thought about what we wanted to talk to you about today, and I think what we've been feeling a little bit lately, both of us in different ways, but we saw similarities, is kind of a lack of connection to kind of our everyday emotion and our thinking and our...
Exactly, it's like when you paint, and when you paint without thinking about it, or when you draw, it's a thinking that is really free and that makes you feel like I feel really good, and you don't especially think about the end of it. You just enjoy the process of it. And most of the time when you get caught up, whereas it's like freelance work, when you work for someone else, or even in your own making, when you just like, for example, for us it's mostly like textile work, stitch work, etc. It can be really like exhausting to do, and it can be also like really like something that you get into, and that you enjoy the process, but it's something you see the end, you have like a bit of pressure and anxiety from it because you do it and you see a certain result, whereas when I think you paint freely, it's quite different. It's just
I think, as you said, it's really easy to get so focused onto like the technicality of a project, any project. And then I don't know, I've been I think I wanted to talk about this today, especially because I've been doing really exciting projects, but I've been so they've been so intense, and I've had to work on them literally constantly without a stop, that I haven't given myself any time to draw or paint for myself. And I used to keep a kind of journal diary that I used to do so much, and it was so important in during the lockdown for my mental well-being, and I kind of put it aside because I've just been so busy. And then I really felt the ramification of not doing it, and I really felt like I was a little bit like everything was turning my head. I felt a little bit lost, and I was like, and once I was like, okay, literally just the other day I was like, okay, Olivia, just paint and do something without thinking. And it felt so nice just to put music on, just to chill, and and again, I would love to tell myself, do that, do half an hour every day where you're just
doing that,
and I know that's unrealistic because it is a good aim.
I think it could be because like a drawing doesn't have to take an hour. It can be okay, you tune off of what you're doing for 10 minutes and you just paint for 10 minutes, and it can be nothing. It can be really large scale, it can be really small scale. The importance is that you're just tuning off your brains out of like the work that you've been doing that have been maybe pressuring you a little bit, and you just reconnect with the joy and the mindfulness of just holding a brush and just putting color and water on paper or anything else really. And I think that's a bit the magic of it, and that's why I like it so much. Like the thing is, I know I lost a lot of connection to like 2D works because I do so much sculpture, and because my practice is focused on sculpture, I tend to put painting on the side, and I don't really do it as much as I used to. I used to have tons of sketchbook, especially whilst I was in France doing my BA, when I was just like writing all the time, where I was just like drawing anything really, like people in the tube, like just nature, anything. And then I don't do it anymore. And as you say, I think it's just really like something that it influence unconsciously the rest of your practice, and it's a really healthy thing to keep doing as an artist, to just take mindful time to do something that has no like finality, basically.
Also, I think like that's another aspect of what we've felt like. I think the pressure, and I think that's a part of being on social media and feeling like you constantly have to show what you're doing, and feeling like you constantly have to like, I don't know, sometimes there's a sense of not wasting time and making sure that what you're doing is a really good piece of work that will you know, that it'll be worth it at the end, because it'll be a good piece. And I feel like that gives a lot of pressure that everything has to be a masterpiece, which and everything has to be shown for social media and stuff, which I think I don't know, it made me feel really disconnected to my work, because I was like overly thinking about the final outcome of it and how it would be seen in the world. And I think like going back to the idea of just painting and drawing without any anticipation of putting on Instagram or without planning what exhibition it could be in.
It's kind of just like doing it for you, but because like it's just about doing it for you.
And it's hard because obviously you have to like you know, if we forever make artwork just for us and it never gets seen, then it's not much, but
it's more like it's just the thing that you're doing for yourself, and it's just you have to take time to like reconnect with it and find joy in it. And sometimes you will do stuff that you will submit to competition, and obviously like sometimes, like most of the time, you will do that.
Interesting. But why do you reckon there's another medium other than painting and drawing that you quite like, in order to like, what is your go-to to do other than painting, maybe to connect with kind of your inner self and the message that you, and like how to connect to what you're feeling right now?
I mean, I think the other thing would be writing, to be honest. Like at the moment it's mostly what I would do, like writing mostly in French. Just putting words on paper, don't really think about it, making like weird sentences and like some stuff that doesn't make much sense. But I think that's mainly what I connect with. I know I would connect a lot with like ceramic. Like I've been, because I'm on this Birmingham project, like I've been sent a bunch of clay like last week.
Oh really?
For like a workshop I could unfortunately not attend, but then I still have this bunch of clay at home and I don't know what to do with it.
But again, that's the thing, it's the idea of like the minute you think okay, I need to make something good with this clay, it's not like maybe just
I think I see it more like as an anti-stress stuff. You know, I would see myself sitting in front of the TV and just like kind of like
you should
just like kind of, how do you say, like playing with it. And even like, because you know at the moment it's wrapped in like kind of like a plastic sleeve, and I would actually maybe even leave it in that just to like kind of like move it around. That's quite funny. And I really love clay, but I haven't done, like I would love to do it a bit more, but
me too.
It's really a mindful things to do, I think.
Like again, and then the hard thing will be is like it is so easy to start it as a mindful thing, and for it to then be like, oh my god, this could actually be good, let me try and do something good, and then it kind of ruins the whole mindful
but always,
which is what I do with everything
but even for writing, we talked about that, like when I'm writing, I'm mostly like writing thinking about the book that I'm writing now, and then like so I start writing, I do it for fun, and suddenly it just kind of like switch to something else, and I'm like, Chloe.
I think writing is actually the only thing that I do which doesn't
you're so good at that, like I come,
but I think it's because I was never, because you like to write and you can write really good stuff and you want to write a story, so I can see you doing that, starting to write and then like it goes into a story, whereas like for me, I've never ever seen and never will see writing as like an act, because it's like I was never good at it, and I never connected to it until recently, where I literally, and so it only is ever for me because it's the only way that I like doing it. I would hate to write, you know, like I used to hate writing for school.
I remember you telling me that.
So there's no way. So what I quite like with when I do my creative writing is it's purely for me, and I find them really good, and I find them really cute, and I love rereading them.
They're so good. I mean, they're so quirky. I love them. Actually, like when you were doing your sketchbook, I remember like, because you like gave it to me like for me to see it, and I was just like, I loved it. It's just little drawings, just random words. It's so interesting as well when like there is the absurdity, because like writing can be such an absurd process as well. And it's just like I feel like you kind of like,
and you know, I told you the other day like sometimes I'll write something, I'll literally like I'll stop writing like like really late at night. I just got myself an iPad so I can write in the dark in my bedroom just with my pen
and I'll write like a load of bullshit. And then like 5 days later I'll reread it and I'll be like, oh my god, I'm so wise. Oh my god, I figured out how I'm feeling right now in advance. I didn't even know it at the time.
Philosopher.
I feel like I managed to philosophize about myself without even me realizing.
That's magic.
Which is why I like doing it. And often, did I tell you this? I often write, sometimes I write, I sing all the time, and I sing, I'll sing like random shit. And often when I write in my diary, I write as I'm singing, so I'm like singing in my head, and then I'll write it to the tune, but then obviously I never know where my tune is coming from, and then like a week later I'll reread it and I'll be like, what the hell is this? Because it's all written as if it's a song but in a tune, and anyways, it makes me laugh. Yeah. Songwriting should be my next thing.
Yeah, clearly. Maybe it's the next thing. I think what I've been having a lot of fun, but it's also because it's kind of part of my practice, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. So when I'm collecting like kind of like found object, and I am in my studio and I'm getting like, I need a break like most of the time, I get my little toys out and I kind of like create a little game. It's just like create like a little, like there is random shit really in this. I have like little like a treasure box that I call, and I have all of my stuff in there, and I lay everything on the table, I take everything out, and I kind of create a little world or like a little game, and like there is little characters in like, because sometimes I have like Playmobiles or like little dolls and stuff like that, and I hide them in the boxes and stuff like that. I just kind of like have fun with it. It's also like the way I'm
I love it. It's a little bit like going back to your childhood of playing with
a bit. It's just like, so yeah, I think that's it a bit for me as well, like for when I'm in the studio, and it's just nice. I do that at like 6 o'clock when there is no one to watch me, and I just like do these things.
Yeah. So where do you reckon like your headspace, because like obviously clearly we needed to do a podcast about kind of reconnecting to mental well-being, so how have you been feeling this week, and why do you think it's like
I've been feeling good. It's just like when I start a new sculpture I'm always happy because I've been starting one last week again, but it's just like I'm so stressed about it. Now I'm going halfway and I'm just like, I don't really know how to explain why I'm stressed about it. It's just I feel like I'm having high expectation of it in my head, and then I had like a lot of things at the same time as well, like to do work-wise, and it was just like I felt like I had no time to just enjoy what I was doing, as we said at the beginning. So it was a bit like my headspace was a bit crowded. Because
the other day when you did a painting for a friend. And you messaged me and you said, oh my god,
I was so happy.
I haven't done that in ages.
So I just did like a bunch of like little painting for like test for a project with someone, and it was just like, it was really nice. And I didn't want to do this painting. I wanted to do this painting, but I was so scared. I was like, oh, they're gonna be so shit anyway. I don't even know what I'm fucking trying. And then, because it's like it had been a long time since I painted, and I was like, I just don't know what I'm doing. And then I did it, and I was just like really happy. I was just like, oh my god. It was my day, like the achievement of the day. I was even more proud of that than actually like advancing, like going further with my sculpture. So
but I think it's also because like the importance of it, like it was important, but it's not like your personal artwork.
I think so. Like the pressure, it was a bit of distance from it. Definitely, which made it like as well easy. Like it's when it's your practice, but it's not like it's something that you're just starting. How can I explain that? Starting, but didn't grow too much into your brain. That doesn't take still
more intuitive.
Yeah, that is more intuitive. It's just like it's just so much more natural to come sometime, and it just makes you feel really good when you're coming up with the idea or like with the thing. So yeah. And you? How was been your headspace lately?
I think actually a little bit better. Bit like I think when I first was thinking about painting and all that, I think it was in a bit of a low space in the sense of I felt I felt a little bit disconnected. I think I was overly thinking, and actually you'll laugh, but I've been doing a bunch of tarot card readings for myself, and a bunch. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think what I realized is I was overly thinking about the future and overly planning, and I have so many plans for the future that I think I was I wasn't like just acting on things now. And also another thing is I don't think I was connecting to what it was that I wanted to say, and this happened to me last year, like literally this time last year. I was in such a artist block stage, and I had no idea. I didn't know what I was saying. I didn't know what I was feeling. I had no idea what I wanted my art to say, because I didn't know what I was feeling. And then it wasn't until I started that diary again that I started to reconnect. And I think that I basically was in the same space at the moment where I just felt a little bit like
you don't really know.
I wasn't focusing on myself on the day to day, and I was like, what am I feeling? Where's my headspace at right now? Where should it be at?
And I think where you're right as well is that because we're in these states where, like, because we work in a freelance way, we are making our own future. We are, like, I mean, it depends. It is like sometimes you have project that comes to you or whatever, like that works like that, but you have the power over your own future, and it's so freeing, but it's also extremely daunting, because you feel like you have to take decisions sometimes, or like to choose things to do that would influence your, like, there is, like, for me, like, I have so much pressure thinking about what I want to do in like months time, like not a month's time, more like maybe like 5 to 6 months time. Where do I want to be, like not where do I want to be like as a person, but like it depends. It's just like what do I want to choose to do, like, and it's just like I have too much project in mind that sometimes, and so much ideas that sometimes it get overcrowded, like what do I want to focus on, etc. And this is when I start to panic a little bit and lose touch with everything that I am doing at the moment, because like I stress a lot about like where I want to go and where I want to like take myself, basically. And I know it's a bit stupid, because like obviously like you have time, you know, like we're still young, and we still have time to like do really like so much different decision. We still have time to do mistakes, etc. But it's just that sometimes you get like so
I think that's the thing. It's like not like you can't help but worry about where you're going to be in 6 months. But I think both of us need to not think as much about it, and actually just think more in the moment, and be more in the moment of like, okay, what am I making right now, and not think where is this going to lead me to too much, because I think personally this is what blocks me a little bit, and what kind of stops me and stresses me, and also what makes me ignore the good things. You know, like sometimes so many good things are happening,
and then you don't
notice them because you're overly thinking about the future and the end goal.
You don't take time to process.
You don't take time to process what you've actually done, and to be like self-aware of like, oh my god, okay, I'm doing this right now, because you're overly focused of like, the future.
Yeah, definitely. That's actually funny, guys, because we've made really different stuff, and I haven't been looking really at what you've been doing, and you haven't either.
I also haven't thought about it at all.
Yeah, I was just mark making really.
But no, I've been drawing. I have noticed, like, because I am trying to draw and stuff more. I'm also trying to read more into the different meanings of objects and the elements, and I think I got that a lot from the looking at the tarot cards that I've been looking at, and what I love about them is how much meaning there is with every single element, and every single element within that illustration means something. And I was looking at it, because I'm not a very I'm not usually a very spiritual person, but I was looking at it and I was like, oh, why am I enjoying this? Like I wouldn't have thought so originally. And I was like, I think it's just because actually every card, I was literally doing research and reading about each card, and I was like, every card just has a really good life lesson.
No, it's true.
And I was really interested in just how, and it was interesting to look at the different symbolism of the aspects of the cards, and relate them to what I've been drawing lately without me even knowing. So for example, I've been drawing like cups and vases and chalices a lot, and then I did research, which again, don't quote me on this because I've only learned this yesterday, but I was doing research, and a lot of it represent creativity and fantasy and dreaming and kind of hopes and like different elements, and some good and some bad, which was interesting because then suddenly now when I'm looking at the chalices in my work and the vases in my work, I'm kind of seeing it as like bubbles of creativity, but that are also lost. And then I was looking at the night time, and I've been drawing myself. I've been doing a lot of self-portraits of myself and during nighttime a lot and moons a lot. And then apparently that kind of one of the cards with that was talking about how the night represents you wanting to be unseen, like you to go by unseen, and you wanting to escape without anyone noticing. Really cool. And I was like, oh my god, that is kind of how I've been feeling, in the sense of like, why am I drawing the nighttime sky? And I'm like, maybe I'm drawing it because it's that, and this is what I was thinking of yesterday, because it's that moment at night where everyone is asleep, everyone is away, and you can dream without it having any consequences, because there's that kind of like a magical moment of the night time where it's like a world where that is different to the daytime, you know?
Yeah, and definitely. And you're like on your own, and you're like the only one that knows what really is happening, like also.
Yeah, and you can, and then at night I dream, and I dream so much. Like most nights I have really intense dreams, and so I think I connect a lot to the night, because I also, my nights are quite vivid. Like every morning I wake up with a whole story that I've just gone through, and so I really connect with like going to bed and experiencing a story when I go to bed. So there's also the idea of like the night time is like a new story, and anything could happen in the night time.
That's really nice. I mean, tarot reading is so, like, I always find it so eye-opening, like, because for me, like, I really love talking with people, like when it comes to like tarot reading. So someone did a tarot reading for me, like a friend of a friend back in the summer, and I was not believing in like tarot at all. It was like, oh, what the fuck am I going in? And then I was just like, and she read me the thing, and I was just really, like, I was really interested in how she was able to connect with my emotions, maybe more than I was able to connect with them myself, through just a conversation. She didn't like, it's not really about telling you anything about your future or whatever. No, it's more about analyzing your state of mind and consciousness at the moment. And like, she did that really well, and she really inspired me, because it's also a way to connect with a stranger through like just a card. And like, it's for me, it's so interesting. And I've had really interesting conversations with friends, with you as well, when in the morning sometimes we call each other, and she's like, oh, like, you're like, my tarot card this morning was that, and I was like, oh, mine was that, and then we're just like, oh yeah, that's cool, like, it's that, and it's really nice conversation generally, because it's just I like really like allow you to like connect and stay in touch with what you're feeling at the moment. And then like, I think it makes you start your day in a good way. It's like going to the gym, you know, but not like the gym, it's just like kind of like
I agree. And what I started doing, which, because I think for a while I was doing it, but I wasn't really I realized that I was kind of doing it mindlessly. Like I was picking up a card, and then I was like, oh, this is a really pretty card, let me look at what it means, and then I kind of left it. And I think now I'm being a little bit more strategic with it, of especially because it's giving me so much insight for my own artwork. Like I'm actually writing down my question, and actually, okay, this is what the card means, but what are you taking from it? Because obviously everyone could take anything you could interpret. At the end of the day, it's going to connect to everyone differently, so it's important to think about how it's connecting to you, and why you think it's connecting to you.
Because sometimes you like draw stuff out of the bag, and you're just like, what the, like, it's just, sometimes I'm like, I don't understand, and then I try to see, I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure there is something, and then I will just like, it will allow, even though I feel like it's not relevant, I will find a relevance, and I will be like, all right. And for me, that's the power of like tarot, and that's where it gets really interesting, really. So
anyway, we're very new amateurs.
Really new. Maybe we're doing that in a really wrong way. Maybe like we've been misreading that. But the thing is, I don't think you can misread it. That's like the whole point of it, you know. So
anyways, it's all
Yeah. I had a question as well.
Yeah.
When you draw, I think that's interesting for me as well. Do you always do you prefer drawing in silence, or would you always have like something in the background to like?
I don't know. It really depends my mood.
Create the mood.
Really depends. I think I was saying this to Luke the other day. Like I have different. I do so many different type of work like that. I have different. I have YouTube videos, podcasts, audiobooks, music, and silence, and all 5 of those kind of connect with different elements of my work. But I think I quite like putting music, but music without words, like more like jazz music or a bit of classical music, because I think I find it really tricky to to think of my own words if I'm listening to music that has words.
No, definitely.
So I think I'll put a little bit of jazz music in the background to kind of get me in that mood. That'll probably be my most go-to. And then do that. What about you?
I think I kind of try and not draw with like music, because I feel like sometimes it's also a way to like you're just with yourself.
Yeah.
But it's true. I love especially like listening to movie soundtracks. I'm a huge like Hans Zimmer kind of a fan. I love listening to like scores, as you said, like again, like instrumental.
It's really important. Like I feel like it really helps. Connect to how I am feeling, and so sometimes I'll need completely silence. And then sometimes I'll need jazz, or sometimes I'll need something. I don't know. Sometimes I'll need something French. Like I go through moods, and I think it's very dependent on the mood that I'm feeling. And then like you can see it in my work, where like sometimes I'm feeling really energetic, and if I'm feeling energetic, I'll have music that feels energetic. Definitely. If I'm feeling kind of like melancholic, which is most of the time melancholic, and like red wine, jazz, French music, and just like feeling a bit too sorry for myself. That's a vibe a lot of the times. I love whenever I paint, I'm like, it's the perfect time to drink red wine and listen to French music. There's like a thing in my brain.
I love that. I do listen to really dramatic songs sometimes when I'm painting. It depends the mood again, but then like sometimes it's that I have to say.
Really. Can you give me another piece of paper? I think
you think you're done with it.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think it's just also like I've always connected a lot with it's really funny because I feel like now I'm in my practice in general, I'm kind of drawn more to like like half figurative, still a bit abstract, but like things. And so I would like go toward shapes that are like recognizable for like the public, so I would just like create a vase or like something for my sculpture. But when I paint, I really am more attracted to something that is like a suggestion, so an abstraction. And I've always connected a lot with like like expressionism and like like the way people like late 20th century, basically like really contemporary painting, like Rothko, like people like that with just like color paint, like like really exploration of colors and stuff like that, like Kandinsky and stuff. I think just like things that are associated with emotion rather than with like a figurative thing.
I think that's something I would actually want to get better at, because I noticed this when you showed me some of the paintings you did the other day, and as you say, they weren't figurative, they were like color and shapes. And I remember thinking, oh god, I often, and again here I did like a shape, because I think there's I always feel like, oh, what am I doing, and what do I need to do, and what am I aiming for? And I don't often just do textures and patterns, which I think I would quite like to try
but then like at the same time it's also the thing you always, I feel like you're in the work that you're doing, maybe you're always drawn to like to like, but if it's always
I don't know, I'm drawn to like self-portrait a lot,
and I think it's like,
which makes sense. I think most of my work is about
I think it's alright, it's just like, if it's the thing that you connect the most with and it's the thing that makes you feel comfortable doing, then that's what you should do. I guess that's always like
even now I'm doing like a patch of green, and I'm like, okay, just do mark making, and then suddenly I'm like, it's a hill. I can make a hill. There can be flowers on the hill.
Whereas me, it's just like I'm vomiting on paper. Really, it's just like I don't know what it is.
I wonder, do you think there's I thought of this the other day. do you think it makes us approach painting differently? How you've had a technical, you've like learned painting and drawing really technically, whereas I never really learned any technical skill in that.
That's quite funny actually, because I think I've learned it so technically that for me, I love doing technical drawing, which I never do, and no one really ever see me do any technical painting because I don't do them anymore.
Yeah.
But I really love doing them when I'm like, especially when I'm traveling. I always have a sketchbook and I'm doing a lot of like architecture, like drawing, and then I think it's just like I kind of got like, because I did 10 years of like classical training in painting before art school. So yeah, I did, but then it was
at school?
No, it was not at school. It was like
after school. I mean, like,
yeah, it was kind of like an after school like internships that I was doing from time to time, and it was like technical oil painting. And I don't know, like I think maybe I did so much technical stuff that now I just don't want to do it anymore.
Which makes sense.
So I don't know, but like I really love doing like, if like we haven't been to yet, but I would love to do like a live drawing class where we just like do live model, because it's just always.
But I was thinking, because I was looking. Because as I said, like I started doing oil painting last year, but I don't know anything about it, and I don't know any technical things. Yeah, and same with like, I mean, drawing is fine. Good, you know. Yeah, drawing is fine because I've been drawing since I was a kid, so I've like taught myself how to draw and things like that. But I was looking online the other day for oil painting lessons, and I was wondering, and then I was like, oh, should I do oil painting lessons or should I just carry on doing my thing and type of thing? But I do feel like. I do like to know a technique. Yeah. And I guess I get that from like, you know, I did embroidery and there's a technique and I can break it, but I know it. And so with oil painting, sometimes I want to do something. Do you feel like you want to? I want to do something. I'm like, I have no idea what the technicality and the thinking behind achieving that is.
Do you think you might be scared of like learning technicalities because you would feel you might lose the freedom that you have at the moment with it?
I'm not scared of learning technicality. I'm not scared of learning technicality. Like I really want to. Yeah. But then I questioned it yesterday. Yeah. Because I was like, do I need to? Do I just you know, self-teach myself and just, I think I can't self-teach myself because I know nothing, but you know, you can just practice and I do what I end up doing.
And it's just like, I feel especially now, like looking at everything and every style that you can see in the art industry today, like there is, I mean, people would maybe like tell me the contrary, but I do believe there is no rules. Like beside, if you like, no, like I see what you mean, because I always believe that to be like someone like to be good at like a technique, you would need to like learn it technically, and then you can deconstruct it afterward. But then at the end, like it really depends, and it doesn't work the same way for everyone. It's true that for me, I do think, like for example, learning the theory of color, where I was in MBA, where I was doing these 10 years of like painting courses, helped me a lot to understand like how to draw and like how to use color, how to create composition, etc.
Yeah, which I think, and then I look at you and how much you've got those technicalities, and I do think I think it would help in the way I approach my work. So I do.
This is interesting. Yeah. I feel like that's always a never-ending debate, because I feel like it's true that today there is a bit less and less technicality that needs to be involved like in the making of a painting, because style is such a subjective thing, and like painting became like is a really huge spectrum of like different approaches. But then it's true that having like basis is something that can definitely help you to expand a bit, like the idea that
and then I'm all for breaking it and doing your own thing, but I think it's like I can feel the difference. I think there's like if you have like an underlying knowledge of something, it'll always be there. However much you break it, there'll be that kind of subtle, which is the same as how I feel with embroidery. And how with that I can, you know, break and challenge embroidery, but there'll always be that underlying technicality knowledge behind it, which kind of changes it.
I think also like in textile now, I kind of want to learn more technique to be able to do that now. I've been thinking about that a bit lately, So I'm able to expand a bit, like my palette of exploration.
I would love to do more, because we said this about as well. We said we'd love to do more workshops and learn new techniques. Like I found some YouTube videos the other day of a guy just going through so many different things like bookbinding and like different color things, different dyeing process, and I was like, I love the idea of learning so many techniques and
bookbinding,
sharing techniques and learning. I do miss learning, I think.
Do you have an extra piece of paper? Oh.
No, I don't.
That's okay, I can continue on that, I guess.
Anyways, we might have to come to an end,
actually,
because it's been half an hour.
Yeah, she senses me. I'm sensing.
I'm actually really enjoying the one I'm currently doing.
I think I really like what she's doing. I don't really like mine, but that's good.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Liking or not
I know
liking.
it's not about liking or not liking.
But yeah, no, it's actually quite nice. I mean, we can always carry on this.
Yeah.
You kind of done?
Yeah, I think I'm kind of done. I think I said I didn't like it, but actually I like it.
Yeah.
I changed my mind. I like the composition.
Well, this was a nice talk. I feel like this was like a nice mental well-being in art, and how to, how it's important to check up on yourself every now and then. And I think it's normal for everyone to get lost and feel lost, and maybe our advice on that would be like how to get out of an artist block, because we go through so many, like I think one of the biggest advice would be to just not focus on making a big piece, but just focusing on creative writing or sketching or keeping a diary.
Anything that will make you feel good and that will make you feel like you're tuning off of what you're doing on an everyday basis. You just stay
connecting to yourself.
It can just be like from, like it can be an hour, it can be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just like.
Or it can go as long as, I know last year when I was really lost, like I literally, for a whole week, I was just doing, I was just writing my diary, and I remember thinking, oh my god, Livia, what are you doing? You're supposed to start your final piece for your masters, and you're here just keeping your diary, and it's been a week, and actually it's exactly what I needed. So I think,
it can be as long as you need to. Like artist block can be frustrating, and I think the only way of going out of it is just by making things without thinking about them. So that's it.
I think I would quite like to set myself a challenge of painting more often and reconnect, like again, going back to writing and all that. So I think maybe we'll look into doing like a little challenge. I think nice. I really want to be like, let's do like a 1 month challenge where we do some drawings a day, but I feel like that would be impossible. So let's not set that challenge, and let's just do more of it.
Let's just like do it. Let's not talk about it. Just like do it. Then we'll update you next time if we actually did it.
Okay, well, it was so nice to talk to you guys, and I hope you enjoyed this podcast.
I really hope you enjoyed it too, and we see you really, really soon. Stay safe. Have fun.
And we'll and for listeners, you can also watch us and watch us. You can't really see our paintings, but we'll put
we'll put maybe a little photo of it, but it's not the most important. The most important was just like making it and talking about it. So
so till next time.
Till next time.
Bye guys.
Bye. Bisous.
Bisous. Bisous.
Bisous.
Bisous. See you next time.
Bye.